Well, my dear students, welcome to my third session of first year classes, that is Animal Kingdom. Right? In previous class, we have discussed about the classification of animals. In that, one small topic is remaining. After that, we will start today the first phylum known as Polyphera. So far, we have discussed about the germplasm, the germ layers. Then we have discussed about the coelom, body cavity, fine, all those things. Now on one basis of classification we have discussed, that is known as symmetry. That is known as symmetry. What is symmetry? Here in maths also you might have heard about the symmetry. That is identical or similar or true copy of that or a mirror image of that is what is known as symmetry. Now let us consider similarity here, the meaning similarity. Based on the symmetry, the animals have been divided into two major types. Two major types. That is nothing but one is known as asymmetrical. Asymmetrical. In my previous class also I had told you about coelom. A refers to absence. So asymmetrical animals. It means these animals cannot be divided into two equal parts. Cannot be divided into two equal parts by any plane. Such animals are known as asymmetrical animals. When you divide this animal, the right hand side will not be as it is of left hand side, will not be similar to that, will not be identical to that, will not be a mirror image of that. This is totally different, this is totally different. For example, if it is an animal like this, if you divide this animal into two, here you are getting three fingers, here you are getting two fingers. I hope it's clear. So these two sides are not identical, not symmetrical to each other. Such animals which cannot be divided into two equal parts, either vertically or radially or horizontally, by any plane, by any line, by any means, you cannot divide these animals into two equal parts. If you cut the animal, you are divided into two parts. But what we are saying here, cannot be divided into two each parts, equal parts, similar parts, identical parts. Such animals are referred as asymmetrical animals. What animals? Asymmetrical animals. Why? Because we cannot divide them into two equal parts, two identical parts. Such animals are known as asymmetrical. A very classical example of them are sponges. Very first phylum, Polyphera or sponges. You can divide, but not into two. What? Equal parts, not identical parts. Such animals are known as asymmetrical. Then the second major type is known as, opposite to that, is what is known as symmetrical animals. What animals? Symmetrical. What do you mean by this? These animals can be divided into two equal parts. They can be divided into two equal parts. How many parts? Two parts. And what are they? They are equal. What do you mean by that? They are similar to each other. They are identical to each other. They look alike. They look like a mirror image of the other. One part of the animal looks like the other part. Similar to that, identical to that, equal to that, mirror image of the other. Such animals are called symmetrical animals. What animals? Symmetrical. Means one part is identical to other. When you divide this animal into how many parts? Two parts. Divide into two parts and each part is equal to other. Each part is similar to other. Exactly like that. It's like a mirror image. When you see into your mirror, you look alike. So mirror image of the other, identical to one another, similar to each other. Such parts, such animals are known as symmetrical animals. What animals? Symmetrical. These are the two major types. One, we cannot divide them. We cannot divide. Here, we can divide them into two equal parts. So asymmetrical animals, symmetrical animals. Symmetrical from higher animals, or like you can say chordates, right? Or from arthropoda also symmetrical animals. Higher animals are comes under this category. Now further, the second major type of classification of animals, that is symmetrical animals, are further divided into two types. One is known as bilateral symmetry, bilateral symmetrical animals. The other is known as radial symmetry. What is known as radially symmetrical animals. Bilateral, here itself it says what? Bi refers to two, bi, bi, or di, di in science refers to two. Bilateral, here these animals can be divided into two equal parts by a line or ax, by a line or a plane passing through the center vertically. How it is? Vertically, right? Linearly, right? Clear? Vertically. The line is passing. For example, if this is the animal, you are cutting this animal like this. This part is also equal. This part is also equal. They look alike by a plane passing through the center of the axis. This line is passing vertically. Such animals are known as bilateral animals. What animals? Bilateral animals. Like for example, crab. Right? Crab. Very similar. This side also, the side also. But if you divide it vertically into two parts, one part of this animal looks alike the other part. So such animals are known as bilateral animals. Now here this says what? Radial. What is radial? Fine. Radially. Fine. Here cross. You are dividing the animal into two parts. Radially cross. Such animals are called radial symmetrical animals, like starfish, right? Radial symmetrical animals. These are the two major types I have discussed. In second type, two major types I have discussed. One more type is there, that is known as biradial. We will discuss that. Now if I discuss that again here only, it may lead to confusion. So biradial symmetry I will discuss when we discuss about the Echinodermata phylum. Now here, so based on this, symmetrical animals, asymmetrical animals, insymmetrical animals, right? Bilateral and radial. Here dividing the animals based on their line passing through the center. One is vertically, other is diagonally. Here it is diagonally, radially, right? So such animals are called radially symmetrical animals, bilateral symmetrical animals. Now we move on to the first phylum, that is known as Polyphenol. There are 11 phyla here in your chapter Animal Kingdom, right? That phylums you can remember by a simple formula. How to remember these phylums? By a simple formula known as, I tell you here, right? The formula is very easy. How to remember? You have studied these phylums, I feel, in your 9th standard. Clear? The first phylum is known as Polyphenol. First one, Polyphenol. Second one, right? Polyphenol. Similarity. Third one, Ctenophora. Fourth, Platyhelminthes. Fifth, Ascalmanthus. Sixth, Annelida. Seventh, Arthropoda. 8. Mollusca. 9. Echinodermata. 10. Hemichordata. 11. Chordata. What is my formula here? P C C P triple A M E H C. What is it? P P C C P. Porifera, Similarity, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes. Triple A Ascalmanthus, Annelida, Arthropoda. MEHC, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. Today in this year I will be discussing from Polyphera to Hemichordata. Later the Chordata part will be discussed by other lecturer, most probably Vidya madam. Right? So here from Polyphera to Hemichordata, these 10 phylum I will discuss. In Chordata you have further classes you have. Madam will discuss about that. So this is the formula to remember what? Remember what? The different phylum. The first phylum, let's talk about Polyphera. What is it known as? Polyphera. First phylum, Polyphera. This word is a Latin word. What word? Latin word. Derived from two words. What is known as porous. That is known as polyferrin. Polyferrin. What do you mean by polyferrin? Here poly refers to porous. What do you mean by that? Having pores, having small holes, having small openings. Porous, the porous body, porous nature, right? Having many openings in that, pores in that. Porous. Ferrin refers to bearing or bearing. What do you mean by bearing? Having. What do you mean by it? Pore bearing animals. The animals which have pores in their body, which have holes in their body, which have openings in their body, which have canals like in their body, because in future in this we have to talk about water canal system. So like canals, openings, porous, the body is started porous. So such animals are known as porifera, right? The pore bearing animals, right, are known as poriferans. All these animals in general, we refer them, we call them as poriferans, but overall, in general, we call all these animals together commonly, very crudely, we can say sponges. What we can say? Sponges. Most of the animals are sponges, they belong to porifera. Poriferans are also commonly referred as sponges. I hope it's clear. All these animals are pore bearing animals, having openings. Right? Clear? Then the general characteristics we discuss now. Right? Most of them are marine. Most of the animals are marine. Some are freshwater forms. So by this we can conclude that all these animals are aquatic. The very beginning, the life started in water medium, in aquatic medium. So the basic animals, primary animals, the very first animals are absolutely aquatic. It doesn't mean you come across only plants in case of water body, right? There are many aquatic animals. So when life started, it started in water. Most of the animals are also aquatic. So here in aquatic again, most of them are marine. In salt water, in oceans. Few are freshwater forms. They live in ponds and lakes. So they are what? They are aquatic animals. What animals? Overall, what they are? Aquatic animals. In aquatic again, further, fine. Most of them are marine. Some are freshwater animals. I hope it's clear. Then they are sedentary. What do you mean by sedentary? This is a characteristic of plants, not of animals. But the primary animals, very basic animals, do possess certain characteristics of plants also. Like for example, Euglena belongs to animal kingdom, Animalia. Rather, it has chlorophyll also. Right? So it is the characteristic shown by these animals that they have a common ancestors, common roots of living beings. So sedentary, what do you mean by sedentary? They are fixed. They are attached to a place. That place is known as substratum. What is known as substratum? So by this we can understand that these animals are not movable. They don't show locomotion. Now you see, plants are fixed to a place, confined to a place. They are attached. They are fixed. Fine. They cannot show locomotion. Movements are seen. In plants also you come across movements towards light, phototrophism, towards earth, geotrophism. Movements are there. But whereas locomotion, what is locomotion? Displacement from one place to other. Now this is locomotion. Clear? Now this is locomotion. What is it? Locomotion. But what is this? Movement. What is this? Movement. So plants also show movements. So these animals cannot displace their location. Cannot change their location. Why? They are sedentary. What do you mean by sedentary? They are fixed. They are attached to soil, in the bed, ocean bed, right? Ocean bed, or they are attached to rocks, right? Or they are attached to some other animals, major animals, bigger animals. They are attached to soil, bed of the ocean. So these animals are sedentary, right? Aquatic animals, most of them are marine, some are freshwater. They are sedentary, right? Now coming back to the third characteristic, right? Germ layers. They are diploblastic animals. Diploblastic. What do you mean by di here again? Two. animals, they have two layers. They have two germplasms. One is known as ectoderm, endoderm, ecto outer, endo inner derm which is present inside, outer ecto which is covering. Right? Two layers, two germ layers. Hence these animals are called diploblastic animals. In two layers, outer one is known as ectoderm, inner, endo refers to inner, ecto refers to outer, peri refers to outer. Clear? So, endoderm consists of again two types of cells. Outer derm consists of pinacoderm. That's why I told you. Peri refers to outer, pinacoderm or pinacocytes, choanocytes. The ectoderm consists of the type of cells. Cytes refers to CYTS, cytes refers to cells. Blast also refers to cells, immature cells, blast, just born cells, nascent cells. Cytes, complete cells. Fine, clear. Outer ectoderm consists of pinacocytes. Neat points. In the exam they will ask you. Inner endoderm consists of choanocytes. In between these two there is a layer. That layer consists of amoebocytes. What do you mean by amoebocytes? This amoebocytes refers to irregular cells because amoeba is irregular in shape. Clear? Pleomorphic in shape, having no definite shape and structure. Such cells which are wandering in between, having irregular structure, are known as amoebocytes. Do remember this point. Or otherwise, these two should remember: pinacocytes in the outer ectoderm, choanocytes in the inner endoderm. Diploblastic animals. They have a body cavity. What they have? A body cavity. The body cavity of these animals is known as spongocoel. Spongo refers to sponges. I have told in the beginning of economic classes. Coel refers to or coelom refers to cavity, body cavity. The body cavity of sponges or poriferans is referred as spongocoel. What is known as spongocoel? Clear? Fine. They are aquatic animals. Most of them are marine. Some are freshwater. They are sedentary animals attached to fixed substratum. They are diploblastic. Outer ectoderm, inner endoderm. Ectoderm, outer consists of pinacocytes. Inner endoderm consists of choanocytes. You have to repeat with me. Clear? Then the body cavity of these sponges is known as spongocoel. They have a body cavity. There is a hollow structure in the cavity in the animal in between the animal. So such a cavity is known as body cavity. The animals which have body cavity are known as coelomates. These animals are known as coelomates. What is the name of the body cavity? Spongocoel. What is it known as? Spongocoel. Now, I told you they are porous openings. They have openings called, right? Ostia. What is known as? Ostia. They have two types of openings, ostia, and one is known as osculum, singular, oscula, plural, but we refer as osculum, right? Because it's one. Ostia is a plural, ostium is a singular, but many openings will be there. Ostia, hence we call these are the openings. Ostia is a inhalent pore. What pore? Inhalent. If you don't remember this terminology, what we mean by ostia? Through which water enters into the body. It is an inhalent pore. What is it? Exhalent pore. What do you mean by exhalent? Now you might have understand. What? It exits. Water exit from the body. So water enters. What enters? Water, because they are present in the water medium, aquatic medium. Water enters into this spongocoel or into the sponges in the body animals through an inhalent pore called ostia. There will be many ostia. Through many pores, water will be entering into the sponges, into the animal body. They have upper side above, right? For example, these are sponges. Clear? Here they have an opening known as osculum. Everywhere they have many openings, right? We can't draw the diagram, mid diagram because of the lack of time, and here in this online classes Fine, I can, if you want, I will include into other software. So this is the sponges. For example, this is a substratum, this is a sponge body. Inherent pore, what is it? Ostia. Exhalent pore, only one, osculum body. Water enters, water enters, water enters, and then water exits through one opening, that is known as osculum. That is known as osculum. Clear? So here, fine, inherent pores are known as ostia. Exhalent pore is known as osculum. Singular I am using exhalent pore, the pore through which water goes out of the body. Now the question should come in your mind: why should water enter and why should go? Because this is known as water canal system. What system? Water canal system. That's why I told you here. When they say porous, there are canals. Water canal system. Do remember very seriously. In case of poriferans, phylum Porifera, you come across water canal system. In starfish also, in echinoderms also, similar concept, little more advanced. That we call it as water vascular system. Don't get confused. Water canal system. Water vascular system in echinodermata starfish. We'll talk about that later. But to mention that, so water canal system here, water canals, tubes are there, pipes are there, openings are there, channels are there through which water enters and water exits. Such a system is known as water canal system. Now question arises, why is it required? This helps in respiration. What is this? Respiration, aquatic respiration by osmosis, right? Respiration. Then also it helps in digestion, it helps in absorption of the energy, utilization of the energy. Then also it helps in excretion, removal of the waste from the body, excretion, digestion, respiration, major physiological functions of the body. Right? Respiration occurs through water canal system through openings. Digestion occurs through water canal system through these openings. Excretion, removal of the waste material from the body through osculum, through exhalent pore outside. All these major physiological functions will be performed by the openings. Hence the body is porous. Clear? Right? Understand? Then the body is, how is the body? Right? How is the animal body? Clear? It is cylindrical. What is it? It is cylindrical. Right? And vase-like, where it is kept vases in the showcase. You kept vases, fine, plastic ones, glass ones, fine, porcelain ones, vase, what we call vase-like. The body is vase-like, cylindrical, clear, fine. Then next one, clear. Main points about this: the reproduction, right? Reproduction is by both asexual. What do you mean by asexual? You have studied in other chapters. Without the formation of gametes. So asexual reproduction takes place by means of budding. Right? This is the animal, for example. Clear? Right? Then here one bud starts. This is what is known as budding. Like you have seen in plants, cactus plant. Fine? Cactus plant, opentia. One branch will start. Later it get departed. In here I'm telling. It get departed. Fine. Then so here asexual reproduction takes place by means of budding. Sexual reproduction takes place by the formation and fusion of gametes. Sperms and eggs, ovum. In study method also eggs are mentioned. Ovum, egg we have to refer only after fertilization. Right? So what are gametes? One is ovum, other is sperm. Sperm is a male gamete, ovum is a female gamete. Gamete formation should take place. Not only formation, fusion should take place. That only we call such a mode of reproduction as sexual reproduction. So they take place both asexual and sexual. Fine? Clear? Understand? They are bisexual animals. What do you mean by bisexual animals? What do you mean by two? So what do you mean by that? In the same animal, male organs, male gametes, female organs, female gametes are also produced. Fine? Both single animal, one animal acts like a male and acts like a female. Such animals are known as bisexual animals. Fine? Clear? Then fertilization. What is fertilization? The process of fusion of male and female gamete to form the zygote is what is known as fertilization. Here, fertilization takes place inside the animal body. Hence, it is known as internal fertilization. What fertilization? If fertilization, what is fertilization? The process of fusion of male gamete with the female gamete for the formation of zygote is what is known as fertilization. These gametes are haploid, whereas zygote is diploid. Fine. So internal fertilization. What do you mean by that? If fertilization takes place inside the body, inside the animal body, or inside the female body, is the internal fertilization. We'll talk about that. External, outside the body, cross fertilization. We'll talk about that later. So internal fertilization. Then development. What do you mean by development? How it develops into an adult? By indirect method. What method? Indirect. What do you mean by indirect method? Here, indirect means the young one will not resemble the adult, will not resemble the parent. To give you example, human baby, immediately after birth, human baby appears like human body, human being. Why? Development is direct, no larval stages here. Whereas in indirect development means what? It has larval stages. Larval stage one star, first star, second star, third star larva, then the pupa, then the adult. So after many shapes, morphosis, metamorphosis, after many development, characters acquiring all those things, the animal look like the adult animal. Such a process of development is known as indirect development. Why indirect? Because here the young one is not resembling the adult. Immediately after birth, this young one is not resembling the adult. Such a development that takes place through larval stages. What stages? Larval stages. Such a development is known as indirect. If there are no larval stages, human beings, mammals, immediately after birth, they look like their parents, but smaller in size. So they are known as, it is known as direct development. Amphiblastula and parenchyma is the larva stages. The economic importance is fine. They are used as gift items. I hope it's clear. It will again mess up the word, the sound. Keep watching. Do watch my class repeatedly. Fine. To go through the study material. God bless you. Good luck. Take care.